everyone, welcome back. It's Charlotte from At Charlotte's House, and today I'm going to transform this chair that you see here. I'm going to show you how to take this chair. I obviously haven't put it together yet, but this chair is going to turn into this. Finding the right type of chair is important. I'm sure you could find something in a thrift store that would work. I found a pair of these chairs on Amazon. All you're looking for is a chair that has a smooth back portion to it. You're gonna need a tape measure or some way to figure out what the median point is of your backrest. Obviously fabric. I'm using a fairly heavy fabric, like an upholstery weight. I just found one that I liked and this weight works. But for a project like this, you could go with a lighter weight fabric, like a quilting fabric. I'm using Mod Podge for this. I found a Mod Podge that was intended for furniture. The first thing that I'm gonna do, like I said, is I am going to find the middle point. I wanna make sure that I can line up my fabric, that it's centered, because the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a fairly thick coat of my Mod Podge onto my chair. I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to line that up right there. I'm smoothing my fabric into place. Now I'm going to go back over it with the Mod Podge, and I'm going to be pretty liberal with it this time around. Notice that I haven't done anything about the leg where it meets the backrest. That's gonna come next. I just want enough Mod Podge to hold that fabric in place, and then I'm gonna go get a sharp blade. I'm just using a razor blade, and I'm gonna use that to trim the fabric here so that it'll work around that leg piece. All right, I'm saturating this fabric with the Mod Podge. And then, can you see how that wet fabric, it holds the crease a little bit better? That's what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna slowly go into that crease with my brand new razor blade. So it should make a pretty easy, clean cut. And then I can also sort of feel where it begins to, the leg begins to pull away. And that's the point that I want this fabric to actually tuck under the leg. So I'm gonna come over here. So you see how that fabric now can just tuck right under? Okay. Now I'm going to add Mod Podge to this part of the chair so I can keep working around the leg here. And the trick to this is just to go really slowly and make sure that my fabric is pressed down. You want to be a tortoise, not a hare, people. Slow and steady. So this fabric is stuck to the chair. I'm going to go back over it with the Mod Podge. So here's a close-up of that blade that I was talking about. I'm going to give the whole back one last coat of Mod Podge, and then I'm going to make sure that I clean up where I can while it's still wet. And then I'll come back in a little bit and show you how I trim the fabric. All right, my Mod Podge has dried. It's the next day, and I want to show you quickly how I'm trimming the edge. I tried it with the razor blade, and I found that the edge wasn't particularly clean. So what I'm using now are a pair of sewing scissors. These are important because these are only used for fabric. They're super sharp. That's what you need to trim your edge. So I'm going to come around with my scissors right up against this edge, and I can see where there's a crease from where I glued it, but if I come at the chair from this angle, my scissors are up against the wood, and so I'm actually able to make a pretty clean cut. And then I'll go back over that with another layer of Mod Podge, and any places where it sticks over will just be smoothed right off. This is why it's important to have super, super sharp scissors, because I can really trim right up to that edge. I am right-handed. I really needed the chair to be on my right to get that clean line. This is another reason why I don't put the chair together until I'm finished, because it's much, much easier to work my scissors around the chair before I've assembled it. I'm going back around the edge of the chair, trimming any fabric that I can see sticking over. But I think it looks good. I've assembled both chairs, and now all I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over the fabric with a number of different coats of the Mod Podge. Again, I'm using the furniture gloss. Both of them already have 2 coats. I think I'm going to try to work my way up to 5 or 6 coats total. That's what was recommended on the container, and I think more is probably going to be a little bit safer, since these are going to be in our kitchen, getting a lot of use and wear and tear from the kids. I'm going to pay extra attention to the edges. I'm going to really make sure that I have a nice thick bead of Mod Podge around those edges so that they don't get caught or nicked or frayed. If you find any edges where the fabric is being a little bit stubborn on you, don't hesitate to use your finger to help smooth the fabric down so it'll stop curling away. All right. I'm going to leave that to dry, and then I'll come back in a couple hours and keep going.
There you have it. How easy was that to take these basic wooden chairs and turn them into these bright and colorful pattern-filled masterpieces. I love them. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me a thumbs up or a comment, and have a great day, everyone.